A child, at least the one thing you can't never say is a bitch ain't dedicated to the cause, okay? Because, child, it is every bit of 1:23 a.m. and I am just now getting ready to record. The have and the have-nots. I had to look at the shit twice, and child, I already put out Blanky and Crew and Love and Hip Hop. Now, y'all know I ain't coming back down here to Friday. Right. All right. Let's go on and get started with tonight's episode of The Have and the Have-Nots. This is season 3, episode 24, Sheep's Clothing. And, child, it was good, okay? Let's go back to Hannah's house, child. You remember Quincy ran the car up and through her house, and it caught on fire and stuff, so Catherine took on down there to check out, what was going on at her house, because she got a message from her neighbors letting her know that, things had gone wrong at her residence, right? Well, we get out there, and Catherine's standing there Catherine's standing there with her, and a detective walks over to her, and the detective is asking Hannah about homeowners insurance, and we find out on this episode tonight that Hannah crazy than a motherfucker. She done sat here and, in her mind, paid for a home, and she allowed the insurance to lapse at the time that Benny was in the hospital, and she wasn't working. Now, to me, that seemed like some bullshit and crazy, because why wouldn't you tell Catherine so Catherine could just help you out like she did with Benny? But no, she didn't do that, child. And now she got to sit here and look at the remnants of what once was her home, and she all up in her fucking feelings, Why they doing all of that? Benny come up on the scene, and he basically has an outburst, which was kind of part way sexy, but okay. He upset, hollering about it's that damn Quincy. Y'all know it was that damn Quincy. You had them know. Well, I don't know. I guess you thought you had fucked him up and he was in jail. Child, I don't do no follow-ups, huh? When you flip that truck, you supposed to been doing some follow-ups to see if this motherfucker either A, dead, or B, been in prison yet again, and if them charges for them drugs you put on him had, been a part of what he was arrested for. But I see you didn't, because you're there looking like, you can't believe the shit that went down. Catherine asked her what she gonna do, and Hannah just distraught, child. She is totally distraught. She telling her she don't know, but she'll take care of it. She'll be all right. Now, bitch, you need some help right now. You need a word from the Lord and some coins from Catherine, and that's what you need, really. Well, the cop that rules out her doing this, and they're like, what you talking about? Well, he was there because he was saying that she could have possibly have done that herself, trying to garner some insurance money, but it's evident that that's not the case here, because this woman distraught, and she don't even have no insurance on her house, okay? Well, Catherine gone and get on the phone with Veronica, and she apologizing for that interruption, which was the call from the neighbor's house. The neighbors letting Hannah know her damn house was on fire and shit, and Catherine had to take over this, so that interrupted their little tea and chat conversation they were supposed to be having. So Catherine calling her, apologizing for that interruption and saying they can reschedule. Now, the whole time Catherine talking to her, we know Veronica don't ask not one question about Hannah's house. Now, she know Benny lived there, but that just let you know Veronica don't give a fuck about nobody. And Catherine told her, you're not even going to ask about Hannah. So at that moment, that's when she decides to go ahead and ask. And it didn't sound sincere, and Catherine let her know that didn't sound sincere. This bitch going to try to do it again, a redo, trying to sound more sincere. And Catherine is like, Lord, Catherine she don't know the extent of how crazy Veronica truly is, but she will find out soon. Anyway, she's saying that she sincerely apologized, and they'll reschedule that for another time. Now, let's go on over to the offices, the campaign offices, where Jim is standing up in there, and he on the phone with the Malones, telling them that he want it done tonight. So I guess all the people on his little hit list is supposed to be taken care of on tonight, okay? A child Maggie roll her ass in there, and she telling Jim that she done revised his concession speech. And for some reason, Jim thinks that Maggie is happy about this situation, and Maggie had to let him know, nah, boo, I ain't happy about that, because, see, I'm a winner, and this is a loss, and I don't do losses. I like to win, okay? She got his ass right on together about who she was and what was the real tea on that shit, okay? Next, we see that she goes over and talks to David about running for governor. And we all know David is a good man. David is an honest man. And he's telling Maggie as such, he telling her, that he needs to talk to Jim about it. And she asking him, why you got to do all of that? He told her, because I'm an honest and faithful friend just like my wife. Because Maggie was still kind of giving him that, I want to still fuck you and be in your life thing. But he telling her now, baby, he is faithful to his wife, and his wife is faithful to him. And I'm like, for real? Do you believe so, huh? Is that what you believe? If that's what you believe, then I think you best stop believing it. But anyway, Candace trying to call Benny on the phone, and she can't reach him. But then she get this knock at the door, and Oscar done delivered all these damn flowers to this bitch like this a funeral or something like that. And they talking about they miss each other, child. He miss her and she miss him. And I'm like, bitch, you must don't know nothing about Betty Wright. Because didn't Betty Wright tell y'all that sometimes them flowers don't mean that he love you, but he's feeling guilty about what the fuck he did the night before? Well, you not know about Miss Betty Wright. She told you. She gave you the blueprint, bitch, on them flowers, and you ain't even listened to it. She told you. When a man come in with all them damn flowers and all that shit, and you ain't did nothing to deserve them, that's a sign, honey. And I think Candace needs to pay attention to the sign, because I'll be glad when she snap back out of this motherfucking dick trance that she's in. Because, child, this bitch been in a dick trance since this white boy touched her. I don't understand, child, but to me, the flowers mean I hate to fuck over you, but I am eventually. Okay? All right. Jeffrey comes over to Candace's house, and she trying to convince him to move in. Now, Jeffrey, why you don't want to take that extra room that she got up in there, I don't know, because you really don't have nothing stable going for your life, for yourself. But then again, Candace might have some issues later, so you might want to stay with the fuck you at. But he telling her now he don't want to stay with her. And she telling him about her son and all that old good shit. And so they roll on off, and she take him to the tow yard first. She looking for Benny, but she telling him, this is Benny's new establishment right here. And child, while he there, he happened to spy over there out of his peripheral and see that there is that car that belongs to him that his mama was blackmailing him about. Child, I'm like, what he gonna do? I didn't know what he was going to do. I was thinking he was going to take the keys and try to move the car somewhere, but apparently that wasn't the case, because he ain't do that, child. Because they roll on over to the hospital to see, excuse me, y'all, shit, I guess it's getting late, my voice going out. But before we go out, let me go and get this in. Well, the social worker comes out and tells Candace that, he okay and everything, and Candace asking what the judge said, and the judge told her that he would leave it up to Miss Social Worker, Miss I think her name Aaliyah or something like that. He was gonna leave it up to them to make the decision as to where Quincy Jr. would go for right now. And Candace thinking okay, but she noticed that it's a bunch of police officers over there by her son hospital door. So she's inquiring about that, and the social worker let her know that Quincy had been up there and that he was a scary individual, and that's why the police were stationed at their door to protect them. Now, Candace done got scared than a motherfucker, and instead of her just proceeding forward because the woman done said, now the lady done turned her around a couple times, but the woman telling her she can go on and see her child. She's so psyched out by hearing that Quincy done been up to that hospital, she gonna tell the woman something that came up and she got to go, right? The woman like, but you been wanting to see your son, he just right there, so why, you can go on up in there. Baby, she did not go up in there, and that will prove to be detrimental in her case to get her child back, because we also saw the social worker boss lady come up there, and the boss lady was like, The boss lady listens to the social worker telling her that Candace was there, but instead of seeing her son, she just abruptly left. Now, she ain't telling the woman that she told her about Quincy's daddy being there and that maybe, you know, that might have had something to do. Now, they not taking into account this girl done been there before, and she been there since they called her and she made it there with Oscar from New York, that this girl has been trying to get her child. She don't care about that. They talking about this woman, that proved that she didn't really want the child no way, and the child, that's okay, because the child wasn't asking for his mama, he was asking for his daddy. So they gonna hold that against her that she left. Prior to her leaving, when the woman said that, when Aaliyah told Candace that her boss would be the one to make the determination, Candace was kind of happy about that, because she had proven that, you know, I guess the job thing, and then, you know, Oscar had put that money in her account and stuff, and a social worker was like, well, I didn't actually see the money being deposited, so Candace showed her the money was there, and I was glad, because at this point I'm thinking Oscar done already got her, but he hadn't, okay? So, because everything was going in her favor for a moment until she didn't stay, and now it look like they gonna use that against her later on. I don't understand it, child. I don't understand it. I don't even think Candace realized how big of a faux pas she actually made. Well, next we see Jeffrey on the phone with Wyatt, and he telling him that he found the car, and they gonna meet up and figure out what to do, because Jeffrey said he got some shit for their ass. But see, Wyatt had been talking to the DA lady, because she called him, right? And she like telling him, you know, at first when he picked up the phone and she told him this Jennifer, the DA, and all that old bullshit, he told the DA, bitch, look, honey, all that stuff I said before was null and void. I ain't do nothing. I'm denying it all. Well, the DA lady had a little news for him, a little tea, as we like to say it, for him, and that tea was that she was aware that he had been in jail, that he had a cop, an undercover cop, in the cell with him, but some kind of way that he was removed out of the cell, and that a real inmate came in there and he assaulted him. His parents know, she know that Jim and Catherine know all about it, and the inmate that assaulted him was once represented by Veronica. Child, DA lady had did her fucking homework. She said, I'm a DA, I have access to that type of shit. So she telling him that if you spill tea, you know, I can give you immunity, you know. And at that moment when he was just getting off the phone, well, I don't know what he planned on doing, but Catherine came down there asking where he was, and he said he stayed at a hotel overnight to clear his mind, child. He had to think about some shit. Well, Jim done rolled over to Celine house, and Celine is standing up at that door talking about, what you want, Jim? And Jim was basically like, look, are we going to do this every time I come over here? And I'm thinking to myself, Celine, go on open the motherfucking door, because you want to anyway. Well, child, she opened that door, and they get to talking. Next thing you know, he getting it on with Celine, baby, and he have some of the rough, I mean, that ain't even the kind of rough sex I like. I mean, he was like trying to, child, he had like he was digging for gold up in her, and she was just hanging on in there with it. I'm like, girl, your box is still sturdy. I know you got to be up in your damn late 40s or something, bitch. That box can take a beating like that, but okay. I guess you got one of them snapbacks on. I don't know what you would say about that, but whatever. After they get through, child, you know, she telling him that she loved him and all that shit, and she had the nerve to ask that man for her job back. Child, that's when Jim faded to black on her and showed her who she really was, who he really is. And I don't know why it takes so many times for this bitch to actually get it in her mind who she dealing with, because child, she over there, he done fucked her. He told her he only came over there to fuck her like the $2 hoe that she is, and ain't nobody gonna fuck with her after he done with her, and he gonna pay child support for the little bastard, not his child with her. He just called the child a little bastard and told her it ain't gonna be what you think it was. Well, child, he was downgrading her the hell out of her, and really she kind of brought it on herself, because after what you just did to him, do you honestly think he want to start up another affair with you? But that's what she trying to offer him, talking about they can do it on a weekly basis. Jim told her, child, he don't want to deal with her on no weekly basis. Like, hell no, it's over, bitch. And baby Celine got that rock eye on him. and told him it ain't never over. So I'm expecting this bitch to strike again. Jim started making it worse for himself, thinking he tearing her down, but what you doing is turning her completely against you. And Celine, girl, when you gonna stop laying up with this man in hopes that he ever gonna want you? Because that's clearly not where he is in the head. He don't want nothing to do with you, girl. He used you. He was frustrated and wanted to fuck Maggie, but she wasn't down with the program. So he went to the most viable hoe available, because Catherine Benton shut that box down on his ass. Well, child, next we see Veronica getting a knock at that door, and she answered it. And child, I'm like, well, who is it? Is it Quincy or something? I thought Quincy was popping up at a motherfucking door or something to try to get up in our ass, because I'm sure he feel like Veronica portrayed him in some kind of way. But no ma'am, it's Maggie Day herself. And child, I was tripping when I saw that it was Maggie, because I'm thinking, Maggie, okay, now this bitch done tried, this bitch psychotic. The bitch done tried to jump on you a couple of times, throw water in your face, throw wine in your face, and you still fucking with this woman. But Maggie came in there armed and dangerous, baby, because she came in there and she told her that after she invited herself in, she told her that she wants her to convince David to run for governor. And Veronica like, bitch, I don't have no aspirations to be first lady. Why should I help him? And I'm aware that every time my husband around you, you like a dog in heat, ready to pounce on him. So what makes you think that I would help him get to the governor's mansion? I don't give a fuck about that. And baby, she must have overheated motherfucking Maggie's hot plate, honey, because Maggie went in and let half. Do you understand me? Maggie told her, she said, David is a good man. He a good man. And you think we slept together? And she showed her some pictures, because she been having her followed. And so Veronica was like, oh, that's you that's having me followed. She was like, yeah. She said, you think me and your husband had an affair, but this is what happened. The night at that hotel, he tried to call you, and you wouldn't answer. So he came back to my room, and yes, he was upset, and yes, he kissed me. But his love for you was so strong, and he took his vows so seriously, he wouldn't have sex with me, despite the fact that I was trying to basically throw it on him. You hear what I'm saying? He was down for your raggedy ass. And girl, you keep fucking around like you doing, he gonna one day wake up to that motherfucking bullshit, and bitch, he gonna leave your ass, and I'm gonna be standing right there with open arms waiting for him to put all them sweet kisses all over my body. Cracked Veronica face, child. I was trying to reach through to try to pick the bitch face up, because it was fucked. And so she gonna tell her to get out. Maggie said, I ain't through yet. I got some more to say. You know, he in love with you. His heart with you. But you a dirty bitch because you're laying up with this young boy. What, you sleeping with a 28-year-old now? And she said, no, a 24-year-old. And I mean 23 or 24, I don't remember, but he younger than that. And she felt like she had done something, but Maggie hit her with that knowledge about what happened in that hotel room for real. And you could see that she had then caught Veronica broke ass face. She put her in her place, baby. And Veronica telling her to get out. When Maggie sashayed out of there like, bitch. You know what I'm saying? She got her together real quick. And that's just what Veronica deserves. Because all this time you've been doing all this evil shit to this man under the assumption that he did you wrong. And in actuality, the man ain't did nothing but stay true to you. He been fighting this white girl out for the longest, trying to keep this Mandigo in your life. And bitch, you didn't even realize that you was the owner of the Mandigo all along. And you been out there giving out his twat to old Benny. Just cutting up for no damn reason. Child, I hope he do wake up one day and eventually leave her ass. Because he need to, child. He really need to. Child. Maggie told her ass a new face and she couldn't handle it, honey. Well, next we see Benny to finally get Hannah to go on back over there to his house that Candace bought. And Hannah gets on my motherfucking nerve because for as religious as this bitch is, she don't use the Lord to help her understand nothing. The beef you and your daughter have is because you failed her as a parent. Okay, that girl may not have been this way had you protected her from your piece of man that came up in the house and molested her. And for the way you've treated her throughout the years, you have no faith in your daughter, and you don't try to stand behind her on nothing she does, and you wonder why she act like she do. But no matter how bad she act, she always trying to do something nice for you. But you always trying to tear her down at the first chance you get. Well, she over there at fucking Benny's house and she trying to blame everything on Candace, including her house getting, Quincy running that car up in her house and setting her house on fire. And my thing is, that is not Candace's fault. True, Candace did get involved with this man. That's how y'all get, have to come in contact with him. But the real person that you need to be mad at is first Veronica. Veronica, the first one, got him out of jail so he can do devilment toward Candace and y'all. And then Benny, if you gonna go bond this motherfucker out, you should have ended him when you did that. So if you want to blame somebody, honey, you need to blame them too. Better yet, blame your damn self, because if you'd raised your daughter right, maybe she wouldn't be straying off like she have and wind up with a man like Quincy in the first place. Lay the blame where it belongs and stop putting it all on your daughter. You carry some blame in this too. Now, I'm not saying Candace is the best bitch, because she ain't. She done did a whole lot. But one thing for certain, the apple don't fall far from the tree. And when we caught you up in that room that time with that man Michael, that was just a snippet of the type of hoe that you probably was at one point. And Candace is her mama. So get over it, bitch. Child, Hannah had a fucking hysterical moment up in that damn house. Baby, she gets up and get the holler. I thought the bitch was gonna have a heart attack or something, because she went to... First, she act like she was... Child, I ain't know what the fuck was wrong with her, but she all hysterical, screaming that business, talking about Candace bought this house and Candace bought that tow yard, and you better not lie to me, boy. And of course, that scares the fuck out of Benny. Every time this bitch had this moment, he breaks and tells the truth. So he let her know, yeah, he did it. I mean, yeah, she bought the stuff, and she once again go to calling the girl a hoe or a tramp and everything else, and everything is her fault, child. I ain't here for this woman here. I am not here for a woman that constantly tear her child down time and time again. We may not like some of the things our kids do, but you have to always look at the bigger picture. How did this start? This started because you failed her as a mother. And so she's become this person that you now don't like. But this is who you made her to be. Had you been the type of mother that you should have been long before you found Jesus, we wouldn't be here. But y'all, it's getting better and better. And next week, y'all tell me what y'all think gonna happen. I saw the scene thing. We ain't going there. If y'all want to talk about some more, and I think I talked about everything. If I left anything out, please leave it down in the comment section, child. We can talk about this shit some more. But in the meantime, in between time, child, it's around about every bit of 1:45 a.m. and I'm finna go to bed as soon as I get this up on YouTube. So you all have a wonderful night and a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And I'll see you guys on Friday for The Real World Now. In the meantime, in between time, peace out, people.